Hello everyone, my name is Holly, and during this lesson we will be talking about jobs. So we will be going over vocabulary related to jobs. So nice to see you all. Hello David, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing well, thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. It's been a while since I've seen you. Excellent.
Yes,
Yeah. Hello Con, how are you doing? Or is it Can or Con?
It's more John.
John. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hi.
the can is your screen name. Okay. So John, nice to see you. Remind me where you're
Hi.
from.
Pardon, I didn't understand that.
Remind me what country are you from?
I'm coming from Germany.
Germany, that's right. And you were originally from Turkey, but Germany is your home now, right?
That's right. I'm originally from Turkey.
Yeah. All right. So awesome. And hi, Anna Carolina. Nice to see you again.
Hi, how are you?
All right. And John, could you mute your microphone when you aren't speaking because there's an echo? Thank you. Daniel, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing? So, which Daniel are you? Where are you from?
From El Salvador.
El Salvador. Okay. Because the last two classes there was a Daniel from Brazil. So awesome. All right. Hello, German. How are you doing today?
Hi, Holly. I'm fine, and you?
Very good. Nice to see you. Very
Nice
nice
to
to.
see you too.
And hello, Jose. How are you?
Fine, Holly. You have changed the schedule today, no?
A little bit. I'm kind of after 6 or 7 months, I've been teaching mostly during my evening, which is your guys' morning, and I've been getting very,
Yeah.
very tired. So I've kind of
Yes.
changed it. I'm kind of trying to do my classes before the end of the evening, kind of afternoon and evening instead of evening and early morning. So
Okay.
yeah, thanks for asking. So, and
Okay.
hello, Roberto.
Hi, nice.
Nice to see you again.
Thank you.
So, and Roberto, you're from Brazil, right?
No, from Spain.
You're from Spain. There must be another Roberto
Yes, yes.
with
We are,
the same avatar
yes, we
who
are
is
two
from
then.
Brazil. Yeah. Okay. And there must be one from Colombia and then one from Brazil because I keep getting them mixed up. So,
Okay.
and hello again, Adela.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. It's been a long time since I've seen you. So, all right, everyone. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about jobs and go over English vocabulary. We'll talk about blue collar versus white collar jobs, male female job titles. We will do a talking point. We will talk about the different job titles, the UK versus the US. We will discuss different jobs, and in addition to that, you will have the opportunity to discuss and just talk a little bit about your job if you want to. So, all right. So before we start, this is for me. This is a kind of fun to ask just as a warm up. The question is, what do you do? So Adela, what do you do?
I am a biologist. I am a teacher in a vocational training school.
Okay. Vocational
Vocation.
vocational training teacher. No, what is it? Biologist, right?
Yes, biology.
Okay, so yeah.
Environmental field.
Okay. Okay, let's do this. Biology and environmental sciences teacher. Okay. Excellent. And John, what do you do?
Well, I'm an IT consultant.
Awesome. I gotta spell it right. IT consultant.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And Daniel, what do you do?
I work in customer service.
Customer service. Are you a customer service representative?
No, I work in the support area for the network.
Okay. Service network support. Okay. Perfect. Okay, and David, is it restaurant manager?
And supervisor, director, yes.
Okay. Restaurant director, I think. Yeah, supervisor is a lower level, I think, than you are. And German, what is it you do? What do you do?
I'm an industrial engineer.
Industrial engineer, okay. Industrial engineer. Okay, and Jose, was it a math teacher?
Yes, I studied mechanical engineering and I work as a teacher in a high school.
Okay, and it's maths or engineering that you teach?
Yes, I teach math, Spanish language.
And Spanish as well.
Yes.
Wow, maths and language teacher. Wow. Wow, amazing. All right, and by the way, just a FYI, I just did this because Jose is in Spain, which is mostly British English, but in American English we do not usually we will say math without the S, but in British English they say maths with the S. So, Roberto, what do you do?
I work in a restaurant as a waiter.
Okay, awesome. I remember you telling me about that. Waiter. Awesome. And then, of course, online English teacher is what my title is. And I'm also an entrepreneur. Does everybody know what this is? Entrepreneur.
Yes.
Okay. What is it?
When you have your own company.
Yeah, so it's a small business owner. Usually no more than 5 employees, if that. So, all right, so let's that's what we are. So let's look at some jobs. Let's study the following definitions and then classify the jobs below as a white-collar jobs or blue-collar jobs. So let's, Roberto, could you read the first line about blue-collar worker?
A blue-collar worker, somebody who does physical and skilled work, for example, in a factory or on a building site.
Okay, and Adela, could you read the next one? Adela.
A white-collar worker, somebody who does mental work, for example, in an office or other than physical work.
Okay, excellent. And so, Jose, can you choose one of these jobs and tell me whether it's a white collar or blue collar?
Okay, I choose a banker. It is a white collar worker.
Okay, white collar worker. Excellent, thank you. And sure, is one of these jobs.
Sorry, what's the question for me?
Yeah. German.
A computer programmer is a white-collar worker.
White collar worker, perfect. Okay, and David.
Bricklayer, it's a blue-collar worker.
Bricklayer is a blue collar worker, okay? Bricklayer, blue collar, okay. And Daniel?
A lumberjack. A blue collar worker.
Blue collar, yes. Lumberjack. And John. Can you choose a word? John, are you there?
Yes, sorry.
No worries.
A builder is a blue collar worker.
Perfect, okay. And Kako, welcome.
Hey, teacher.
Hi.
Thank you.
All right, so which category do one of these words belong to?
As secretary, a white collar worker.
Perfect. A secretary is a white collar worker. It's hard to put these, it's not working right, so, all right. And Adela, could you choose a word?
A sailor, maybe a blue collar.
Blue collar. Okay. And Roberto?
Electrician, I think, is a blue collar.
Blue collar, perfect. Okay, and Jose?
An accountant, white collar.
White collar, okay. Kako?
A tailor, a white, blue collar worker.
Okay. Oops, blue collar. Okay, and German?
I'm not so sure, but a sales representative is a blue collar worker.
Actually, a sales representative usually is a white collar worker.
Okay.
Because they have to use their sales ability more
Yeah.
than anything. So, and then finally, the last one, John, is a university lecturer white collar or blue collar?
It should be white collar worker.
White collar. Okay. All right. Excellent. So let's look at these. Teacher, is that white collar or blue collar? Adela?
I think it's a white collar.
White collar. Okay. And IT consultant, white or blue? Or both? There could be a hybrid. Who was that? Was that Roberto or is that John?
It was me.
Okay.
So it's a white collar.
White collar, okay. White collar, okay. And then Daniel, what about your job? Is it white collar or blue collar?
It's a white collar.
White collar, okay. And how about your job, David? Is it white collar or blue collar?
I think it's white collar.
Okay, white collar. Okay, and a industrial engineer, was that a white collar or blue collar, German?
White collar. White
It
collar.
is white collar, okay.
White collar.
And then white collar is a teacher. And how about a waiter?
White collar.
Okay. A waiter, is that white collar or blue collar, Roberto?
I think blue collar.
It's actually it's actually a blue. It's a bluish white. So blue collar, just simply because it's well, I don't know. It can have a little bit of white in it too. So it depends on what kind of restaurant it is, I think. Then of course, online English teacher, white collar, an
White
entrepreneur.
collar.
Okay, and Kako, what do you do?
Teacher, what is the question, please?
Yeah, what do you do? What is your job?
I am a food engineer.
Oh,
and
awesome.
I currently work in a governmental institute.
White collar.
Okay, so that would be a white collar.
White
as well.
collar.
Yeah. Right. So the okay, of course, according to a lot of people, the blue collar workers are the ones that really work. The rest of us don't. So, all right, let's go on. So male, female job titles. Normally, when I do this, I have half white and half blue. So this is very rare to have so many white. So anyway, male job, female job titles. Let's give the female job titles of the jobs below. We have a barman. Anybody know what would the female job title would be for that one?
Bartender.
And that is actually the American English. That would be a gender. We have the gender. Let's do this one. Have another one that's called gender neutral. So the gender neutral one for that one for barman is a bartender. And gender neutral means it could be either male or female. So barman. Anyone know what the female one would be though?
Can be barman
Probably
too.
bar woman.
Close. Adela, what was your guess?
Barman too.
No.
No.
It's actually a barmaid.
Ah.
Waitress?
A waitress, yes. A waiter and a waiter and a waitress. Anybody know what would the gender neutral word for a waiter waitress be? What would the gender neutral one be? A server.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, an air steward. What would the female be for this one?
Air hostess.
Air hostess. I think an air stewardess. A stewardess is what I grew up with. But an air hostess is also one that I've heard before. What would the gender neutral one be for this one?
Flight attendant.
Flight attendant, yes, a flight attendant. So the flight attendant. So you say your flight attendant's name is Pat. Okay, Pat is a gender neutral name. You don't know if it's a male or female, so you don't know if Pat is a male or female. So, okay, policeman. What would the female be for this one?
Policewoman?
A policewoman, yes. What would the gender neutral one be for this?
Maybe officer?
Yes, a police officer.
Police officer.
Yeah.
Okay, police officer.
Yeah. An actor, then an
Actress.
Actress, yeah.
Actress.
I don't think that there is a gender neutral one. I can't spell. We don't have a gender neutral one for actor. Usually we would just say an actor, and an actor could be male or female.
An actor.
So that's normally what it would be.
You can use an actor for male, female.
You can use it for both, usually.
Performer?
But performers, it's even better. Performer is even better. But you can. A lot of times people will say, "Well, she's an actor. She acts in the theater, so she's an actor." You might say she's an actress as well. But if you use the word actor, it's you might not always. Some people have tried to change it. It isn't worldwide yet, though, for it to be changed. So, all right. So, which jobs do you think are more suitable for men? Which are more suitable for women? Do you know any women who do so-called men's jobs? So let's start with Daniel. What do you think? Which jobs do you think are more suitable for men, than for women? What do you think?
I don't know, but because the women have a principal role in this time, so she can make anything that we do. You can see a lot of female officers, even they like to work in a factory too. I know it's an equal. It doesn't matter the gender. If the people like the jobs, they do the best, and always. And sometimes the women made a better job than the male.
Than the men. Okay, so you're being very, very politically correct, very PC. Excellent, and that's in a lot of ways that's true anymore. So let's change it to a different question. So which jobs were traditionally suitable for men, and which are traditionally suitable for women? Because you're absolutely right. I know some females who are cops that in many ways are better than the men, and vice versa. So David, can you think of some jobs that are traditionally more suitable for men?
Yes, for a policeman, and I think truck driver, for example, pilots, plane pilot, and I think any work that needs to use your strength, I think it's traditionally for men.
Okay, so basically the strength. So construction worker, for example.
Yes.
It's interesting. I was talking to my niece, who is is right now she's working out some details. She's gone through truck driving school, and I think she's 24. Her ex-boyfriend got her into it, and he was a truck driver, so he got her into truck driving, and now she is waiting right now to be a truck driver. And what's interesting, what they do with the women in the truck driving, is they usually send them together. So there's two females that are together, or the woman usually might drive with her husband if her husband's a truck driver. So I found that very interesting. I wasn't aware of that. So because I would definitely traditionally see truck driving as a male job. So as I think some of you too. Yeah. So Adela, can you think of let's just do this last question. Do you know any women who do so-called men's jobs, or do you know any men who do so-called women's jobs? Adela, do you know anybody?
Yes, I think I know the people have jobs traditionally as a woman, for example, babysitter for a man, or in opposite, for example, there are a lot of people in this moment to do the exam to firefighter or soldier, etc. That a lot of women on the gym, they prepare the exam, the physical exam to these areas.
Yeah. So like a nurse. My brother became a nurse. So definitely. All right. And Roberto, do you know any males or females that are working in traditional male opposite jobs?
Yes, I knew a woman who worked as I don't know the name of the profession in English, but I think it's referee. It's in a football match. The person who.
Yeah.
Yes, you know the referee.
There's two words for it. It depends on the sport. We have referee, and then we have umpire. A referee is a person who moves with the team. So, like in soccer or football, they'll move back and forth. An umpire is makes the same decisions, but they stand in one place and watch, or they sit and watch. So you know a female referee?
Yes, it's not usual. No.
Yeah, it's not normal at all. Absolutely. All right, Kako, do you know somebody in a job that's just not normal?
Can you repeat, teacher, please?
Yeah, Yeah. Do you know somebody in a job that's suited usually traditionally for one sex, but they're in it? Like for example, a referee is normally men, but Roberto knows somebody who's a female that's a female referee. Do you know anybody that is in a non-traditional job?
Here in Brazil, women have been increasing their participation in all the sectors. For example, bus driver, soccer referees, police officers. There are a lot, teacher.
Okay. So, and you know some people personally?
No,
Okay.
I am not remembering now.
Okay.
But,
no worries.
But I think, but possibly I know, teacher.
Yeah, but you don't even think about it. Awesome. All right. Thank you. And Jose, do you know anybody in a non-traditional role?
Yes, yes. In Spain, it's very common. It's very common. I see some woman who is driving a tram or who is driving a bus.
Really?
Yes, it's very common. I see some men that are working as a nurse too.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I think that it's really starting to. It's no like what Daniel said is it's no longer the case that you're really.
Yes,
It's becoming more and more normal. So.
it's the same.
Sure. Yeah. German. How about you? Do you know anyone in a non-traditional role?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And David, do you know people that in a non-traditional role?
No, now I can't remember anyone.
Okay.
No.
I can't think of anyone. All right. And then we have Daniel. Do you know anyone?
Well, my mom returned to El Salvador after, 2 years ago, but before that she was a taxi driver in Austin.
Wow. In Austin, Texas?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be a non-traditional job.
Yeah,
definitely. Did she enjoy it?
Yes, she loves the job, and now she wants to return to USA, but and work in a like like a truck driver.
Like my niece wants to do. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She have a lot of crazy story about the
I bet.
The taxi.
I bet there is. So, and Alexander, you snuck in there. How long have you been here? Welcome.
I think for maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay, good. It hasn't been too long. So,
Yeah.
all right. So, Alexander, tell us. Do you know anybody that is in like traditional or so-called men's jobs? So any females, or do you know any men who are in traditional or so-called women's jobs?
Maybe engineer now in my country is still considered to be the profession for men, and for women, I think the most suitable is not suitable. I'm sorry, most popular is nurse.
Okay, and so it's still following those kind of male-female gender roles. Do you know any female engineers?
Actually, I find it difficult to answer on this question because I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. Yeah, I remember I actually met the first female engineer in Finland, and she's of course about 75 years old now. So, but even when I was living there in the 2000s, even in Finland there were fewer female engineers and there were male engineers, and I think for that reason. But I did know some, so I taught quite a few. So, all right. So let's go on. So I need a plumber. Okay, keep in mind, just as far as a quick tidbit here, the word plumber here, this B is silent. So we would say plumber instead of plumber. So plumber, okay? All right, plumber. So we have chef, porter, flight attendant, private detective, manager, psychologist, nurse, surgeon, plumber, and vet. Does everyone know what these jobs are?
Yes.
Yes, okay. All right, so let's go ahead and fill in these blanks. Let's start with Adela. Could you do number 1?
Yes, Janet has been extremely depressed lately. I think she needs to see a psychologist.
Yes, psychologist, perfect. Okay, and Alexander, could you do number 2?
Yes, my dog has been coughing a lot. I must take him to the vet. To the
vet, yeah. And also short for veterinarian. And I think they put vet because they, like me, they can't really spell it. Veterinarian. Okay, let's see. It looks like I got it right. So, number 3, Kako, could you do that one?
My dog has been coughing a lot.
Okay, that's already been done. Number 3.
Okay. Laura loves taking care of other people. I think she'll be a nurse when she grows up.
Perfect, thank you. And Daniel, could you do number 4?
One of the pipe in my bathroom has burst, and there's water all over the place. I need to call a plumber.
Very good pronunciation too. Very good. So, David, number 5.
Alan was very suspicious of his wife, so he hired a private detective to find out if she had been seeing another man.
I've only heard about this through like TV shows. I wonder if it's really true.
I think so. I think it's true.
Yeah, that people do that. There must be. So, number 6, German.
The surgeon told me that I needed at least 1 month to recover from the knee operation.
Okay, all right, thank you. And number 7, Jose.
Leave your bags here. The chef, the porter will take them to your room.
Perfect, thank you, the porter. And one thing, Jose, even though you fixed your answer, the pronunciation of this word is chef.
Chef.
Now this word right here is chief. Chief. And this one is chef. So it's cha and sh. They're kind of really difficult to hear the difference. Yeah. So Roberto, can you do number 8?
Alison loves traveling, so she decided to become a flight attendant.
I wonder if she still likes traveling. Okay, all right. And Adela, could you do number 9?
Can I speak to the manager, please? I would like to complain about the customer service here.
Okay. And number 10, Alexander.
The food at this restaurant is excellent. Compliments to the chef.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Compliments to the chef. All right. Now let's look at the UK versus US English. Let's match the following British English job titles on the left to their equivalent US titles on the right. So we have a shop assistant, a postman, a dustman, a headmaster, a childminder, a chemist, or a barman. And over in the US, we have a babysitter, a bartender, a garbage man, a mailman, a pharmacist, a principal, actually pronounced, spelled, this is wrong, it's spelled principal with an AL, and a sales clerk. The PLE is a completely different one. I keep meaning to tell this company to fix it. So, and then a sales clerk. All right, so where were we at? Kako, could you do one of these?
A shop assistant, letter G. A sales clerk.
Perfect. All right, and Daniel.
A dustman, a garbage man.
Perfect. A dustman is a garbage man. Oops. Garbage man. And David.
Childminder, babysitter.
Can't type, but okay. And German.
A postman is a mailman.
Okay, it's a mailman. Very good. And Jose.
Chemist, it is a pharmacist.
Yes, a chemist is a pharmacist. And Roberto.
A headmaster, principal.
Yeah, so a headmaster is a principal, yes. Okay, and then we have the last one, a barman or barmaid in British English is a bartender. We actually do not use barman or barmaid in American English at all. So for us, it's always a bartender. So it's always the gender neutral word for this. So which of the jobs below is the most dangerous, the most interesting, the most boring, the best paid, the worst paid, so forth? So let's start with David. Could you tell us, in your opinion, which of the jobs below is the most dangerous?
I think it could be a fireman.
Fireman. And why would you say that?
Because you have to work with fire and with car crashes and things like that every day.
All right, thank you. All right, and German, can you choose one that would be, in your opinion, the most interesting?
The most interesting, maybe a company director.
Okay, and why would you say that the company director would be the most interesting?
Because the work is very complex and also is very important to the company, and he have to give the directions to all the employees.
Okay, all right, thank you. And Daniel, what would you say would be the most boring?
Maybe a chambermaid.
A chambermaid. And why would you say a chambermaid would be the most boring?
I don't know, because you do the same all the time. You have to clean, one room, other room, and always the same.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Does anybody know what the word in English would be? I don't know if guys were in this class, which means boring because it is repetitious. Anybody remember that word if you were in that class? I don't even know. Monotonous. Oops.
Monotonous. Okay.
Monotonous. And I hopefully I spelled that right. No, I didn't spell it right. Monotonous. If this basically means boring because it is repetitive. Another word that is like this also is mind-numbing. So if you have a mind-numbing job, if you have a mind-numbing job, then it is very monotonous and very boring. So Kako, you asked a question. I didn't even see this. Is it not prejudicial to call a professional a dustman or a garbage man? Yeah. I would agree with you there. A garbage person, a dust person. I don't think that they've changed the words because I think there's few women that are in this profession at all. So good question. So service workers might be garbage service workers might be a good name for it, but I don't know if I've heard anything. So, Kako, what would be in your opinion, the best paid job?
Generally, here in Brazil, white collars job are best paid than blue collar jobs.
Really?
Yeah.
That is not the case in my country. So
we come from a tradition where hand job are not so recognized.
Mm-hmm.
Unhappily,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In my country, there's a lot of blue-collar jobs that make a lot more money than white-collar, especially when it comes to the middle class. For example, there's a factory. It's a potato factory down the street from my house, and they were hiring process workers basically for their factory. They were going to pay $20 an hour, and I drove by the factory, and they had a line for 2 days. They had a line almost a mile long of people applying for the jobs. So, and it was just basically a factory working job, but they were getting paid really, really well. So, Jose.
Yes.
In your opinion, what would be the worst paid job?
The worst paid job, in my opinion, could be a barman or a chambermaid.
Barman or chambermaid?
Yes, I think this job could be the worst paid.
Mm-hmm. In the U.S., a barman or a bartender actually make pretty good money because of tips.
Ah, okay. Because
And
the people give there a lot of tips. Okay.
yeah. So, but of course, it depends on your
In
country.
In Spain, no.
Oh, really?
In Spain
Don't
it's different.
All right. And Alexander, in your opinion, what do you think would be the most boring job?
The most boring job, of course, it is a timberman. I'm totally agree with the last guy who told that.
Okay, so you'd also say chambermaid. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
because
And,
it's maintenance work and you just always cleaning something and it can get brought to you as soon as you.
depending on the hotel, you might find it really interesting if you have like a lot of celebrities or something in there.
Oh.
So
Maybe.
all right. And Adela, what do you, in your opinion, what do you think would be the worst paid job?
The worst paid is depend. For example, in agricultural field, people who go to the field to recollect, to pick the fruit, sometimes it's not so good. Or in gardening, the last is they are different level, no, but less level is not so good.
Okay.
Sometimes in Spain they are earn a lot of a work sorry a work but paid, or a job but paid.
Yeah.
Yes, I think.
So sometimes just having a person might have a job, and in the States, people might have a job for the security and for the insurance, but they actually do not make hardly any money at all. Waiters and waitresses make money through their tips. So if you're ever in the States, try to tip because that's how they make their money. The rest of their money goes to taxes. Their hourly wage goes to taxes and insurance. So.
But assurance is free in Spain.
Yeah, that's nice in Spain, and the States no. So, next, what we're going to do now is ask and answer questions. I'm going to, we'll start with Roberto. So, Roberto, you are from Spain. At what age do people usually begin to work in Spain?
I think people can work at 16, start to work at 16, but the reality is people work very late. Start to work very late.
Do they start working after university or?
Yes, very late. When you finish the studies, or is very difficult to find a job in Spain.
I've heard that the unemployment rate is just high. Sky high. Jose, at what age do people usually retire in your country?
Yes, when the people are 65 years old, the people could be retired.
Okay. Now, people your age, do they have to retire later?
I think that yes, the people, if the people want, they could be retired later.
Okay, because in Finland it used to be 65, but people who were born after, like, I think 1965 have to retire at 67, and it's the same in the States as well. So I didn't know whether Spain had changed that or not. Okay, and German, at what age would you like to retire?
Oh, I don't know, maybe at 70 years?
So at 70 years old, what do you think you will do after you retire? And now how much money do you think you need to retire with your lifestyle?
Oh, hard questions. I don't know, because I say now that I would like to travel but maybe at that age, probably not. Just resting, being in my home, doing things, maybe reading books. I don't know. Hard question. Maybe money. Uh, I don't know. Difficult, hard question.
Okay, yeah. That is a hard question, especially thinking years down the road. So, all right, thank you. David, can you talk about what a typical day at your current job is like?
I have to answer no, I can't, because I think every day is different from the day before. And for example, I usually start my journey working with my computer, working with the email, and planning some meetings, and planning the rest of the week. And I usually go to 1, 2, or 3 of my restaurants to have a time with the store manager and to review our goals and plans. And I have to attend several meetings every week, and I have to, I don't know how to say, when there is a fire and the fireman goes to stop the fire, is correct to say to stop the fire. I have to stop some fires along the week.
And they say that about a lot about leaders, that many times that what you have to do instead of stop, what you have to do is you have to put out fires.
Yes.
So you're putting out fires in the different locations where you have subordinates at. Yeah. So excellent. Thank you, David. Daniel, can you describe some of the people that you work with?
Okay, I don't work with any people because in my turn I'm alone because I start to work at 11 p.m. So it's me, the computer, and the customer.
Okay. So you are a lone wolf.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll write that down. A lone wolf. I feel the same way. I was just telling some people yesterday that the biggest drawback about my job as an online English teacher is that I don't ever see anyone face to face. So I mean, this is like I see my family face to face, and that's about it, And it's fine. I love my job, but it is you feel like a lone wolf sometimes. So awesome. All right, Kako, can you describe your current job?
I work in an office. In a federal institute in the area of accreditation of bodies that made certification of companies. Then my daily work is review reports made by evaluators when they go after they're going to the offices of their certifiers, and then I analyze if they evaluated, they assessed all the requirements of the standards of the norms if there were no conformities, if no conformities were treated appropriately, and I recommend, and after made this review, I recommend the decision about the complement of the standard. I recommend my boss to decide on the basis of the report, teacher.
Awesome.
It is my main work.
Main responsibility. So it's definitely is a mental work. Definitely is a white collar job. So, yeah. All right. Thank you. And Alexander, what was your first job?
My first job, I was an animator in Greece, and I worked maybe a couple of months there, and I like it so much because there were not so much problems. It was quite easy. It was very funny because I'm quite social, so this opportunity was great for me because you had to be you have to socialize every time there.
Okay.
I had to. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it was a great opportunity. Was it like a summer job of some kind?
Yes, and this was after I finished my first year at the university, and it was exactly my summer job, my first summer job, and to top it off, it was my first trip abroad.
Oh wow! So it was a summer of first for everything. So
yeah, awesome. First summer of everything.
Yeah, awesome. All right, and Adela, for the last question. Do women usually work after they get married in Spain?
Yes, of course. We have a time off if you are pregnant after to have the baby, to take care around 4 months, and I think is better in this moment. They are babysitter and garden. I don't know. It's a kindergarten, no? Kindergarten.
Yeah.
To the baby don't have any problem.
Yeah, so they go to maternity leave, and then kindergarten, it depends on if it's British English or American English, but kindergarten in British English is where it's kind of like what we say in American English, daycare center.
Daycare nursery, okay.
Yeah. Daycare center. All right, everyone, I want to thank you all for your participation. I hope you learned some new words, and I'll hope to see you all in a time. And thank you all for very much. Have a great sleep well for those of you in Europe, and those of you in have a good evening.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.